y'all, it's Heather, and I've got some warm eye looks for you. I've got the tutorials for 20 different looks. I'm super excited, so let's start with the Golden Hour palette from ColourPop. This palette has some of my favorite shades ever. I love these kind of golden neutrally tones. They're almost a little like green in the undertone when you look at the golds. So I'm going to start with this really pretty warm yellowy brown shade. I'm going to deepen up the outer corner with the deeper brown. These shades blend so easily, but this liner is Brouhaha from ColourPop. I'm just putting that down kind of as a base, and then I'm going to take this warmer shade and buff it out a lot more. All of these are brushes from my favorite set with Sigma. Everything I talk about today will of course be linked down in the description box, but I'm going to just blend a bit. I'm going to use a little bit of the Pixie Epoxy to prep my lids for this kind of glittery shade. I'm going to pack it on top of that primer, and then I'm just going to highlight the inner corner with a little bit of this shimmer, and we're going to have like this bronzy golden easy look. It wasn't difficult to do, but that shimmer is really doing its job. We're going to stick with the Golden Hour ColourPop palette again for this look. I'm using my Singe Beauty brushes, and I do have an eye primer on for every single look. I never do my eyeshadow look without eyeshadow primer. I need it, but you can see we're going for a look that's maybe a little more like deep and dark all over. I'm putting that really warm bronze shade on the lid, and then I'm going to highlight the inner corner with a matte shade. I'm using Brouhaha again to put in my waterline, and I just really like this look. No lashes, mascara, but I think paired with a red lip, it's gorgeous. Let's play with Flying Fiddles from Adept Cosmetics next. We have multi-chromes, shimmers, lots of special shades, and we're going to get a beautiful warm look with this one. So I'm starting off with my eyes primed, and we're going to go into this light brown shade. I'm using brushes from What's Up Beauty, and I'm just going to deepen up the lower lash line, the outer corner. You can see when I kind of blend this shade out, it almost turns to like a warm purpley berry color, but the look overall is still going to be super, super neutral. Packing this shimmer all over the lid, packing the shimmer on the inner corner. This is the finished look. I really enjoy it. I put on a half lash and felt great. For look number 4, I want to use my collaboration palette with Adept Cosmetics. This is the Heather Austin palette. Of course, I love it. It's back in stock. Opening up the palette, we're going to go in with the shade Atlas. Beautiful warm brown that can be built up or kind of blended to be a little more sheer, but I'm going to be using my What's Up Beauty brushes. I'm just going to put that shade Atlas kind of all over. I'm lifting it up and out a little bit to help open up my deep set eyes, and then I'm going to take Danessa Myricks Color Fix. This is the shade Olive, and I thought this would be really pretty to put down as a base for like a kind of winged liner. So I'm going to take my shade Video Chat, and I'm picking this up on a brush, being really careful, and I'm just going to go over top of that Olive Color Fix with this shade. It's going to give a really, really pretty but really, really subtle kind of shift to this look, and it's not going to be something that you notice like right away. It's going to be one of those things that's just that subtle ooh like what does she have, what is she wearing, like what is that? And it's going to be that little kind of multi-chrome wing. Super simple, but I love it. Next, we're going to use the Legend of Ardra palette from Adept. This is Adept's newest palette, and I think the tones in here are super beautiful for a warm toned look. So, of course, I'm going to grab my palette, look at all these beautiful shades, and then we're going to go into this shifty multi-chrome right here. And I want this to be kind of a sparkle heavy look. So I'm using my Makeup by Mario brush, and I'm just going to put this all over the lid, kind of one shade everywhere to be super impactful. And then I'm going to take this shimmery shade right here. I'm just going to brush it all over the lower lash line, nothing precise. We're going to take a beautiful shimmer, again, very shimmer, very sparkle heavy look. And we're just going to add that one to the inner corner. Then we're going to put this one in the crease. Then I'm going to put a little dark brown liner on, and easy peasy, shimmery, warm, earthy, fairy vibes, ethereal type of look. All the adjectives. For look number 6, I want to go into my Makeup by Mario Master Mattes palette. This palette is like borderline blend itself type of quality. The mattes are so good. So I'm going to start with this kind of like mid-tone brown shade. You can see how easy everything just goes on, blends, no issues whatsoever. And we're doing this kind of like halo-esque, spotlight-esque type of eye with the dark in the outer corners, and then I'm going to jump over to my Divaroon Dewdrops palette. This has some beautiful sparkly shades. They shift in the light, everything. They're just absolutely gorgeous. So I really wanted to use this with the all matte palette to bring some shimmer, some pop, some shine to the look, and I love it. This is the Too Faced Aptly in Love palette. I have a whole video on this palette. Definitely check it out, but I want to create create like an easy look with this palette. The first look I did was a little more bold and intense, so for this one we're going super soft with the shimmer and a matte. That's going to be kind of the main focus. I'm taking this matte all the way around, and then I'm going to deepen up just very, very, very slightly, a little bit of shimmer on the inner corner, some mascara, and that's it. This is a simple one. We're going to grab an indie palette. This is from Gourmande Girls, and I've actually got two looks for you with this one. I'm going to start off with this beautiful peachy shade. Peaches are perfect shades for like warm looks that are neutral but a little bit extra, you know? And I'm doing like the dark inner corner, the dark outer corner, another kind of halo spotlight type eye. I really like these. I think they're super fun, and we're going to put this beautiful peach shimmer all in the center. Like, do you see that? It's so pretty. I'm going to do a matte inner corner highlight because I think that can be so beautiful sometimes. Very simple, just like a long half lash for this look. And then we're going to jump over to another peachy look, and I'm going to start with even lighter shade this time. I'm just going to kind of put this everywhere. I'm using brushes from my Sigma Favorite set. I want to blend this under the lower lash line, just really everywhere, you know? I'm going to take the brown shade, I'm going to deepen up the outer corner a little bit. You can see how easy that shade blends. And with these light peachy shades, it's not going to be too overwhelming. So you can get a soft look and really play with some of these warm tones. Just putting that on the lid, the inner corner, and here's my look. Now we're going to use High Temp from Unearthly. I'm going to start with this gorgeous deep dark shade. I'm using my rougher brushes, and I'm going to put this kind of all in my socket, above, below. I'm going to take it down to the outer corner of my lid, really intensifying the look, putting it on the lower lash line, and then I'm going to go in with this yellow and this light yellow. I just kind of mix the shades together to use as kind of a fluffy blending color to give that beautiful warmth. We're going to throw this shade all on the lid. I'm just kind of pressing it on. I do spray my shimmers with the setting spray. I always do that to get them to be like the best they can be, and then a matte inner corner, and this will be our finished look. I'm going to use the Secret Garden palette from BellaBeauteBar for my next look. And I know this is a super colorful palette. I absolutely love that. Of course, it's beautiful. I love the pinks. I love the greens. But we're going to focus on this top row because this is where our neutral shades are. Look at how effortlessly that blends. I'm going to use my Fantasy Cosmetica brushes, and I'm just going to pop that dark shade on the lower lash line. I'm going to put this like shimmery holographic almost shade all over my lid, and a matte inner corner. Are you seeing the theme? I'm loving a matte inner corner lately. I did brown mascara for this look, and I love it. Groovy Garden is a perfect palette if you want a warm look. It's so gorgeous. Look at these warm tones. I'm ready to put some on my eyes. So I'm going to use my What's Up Beauty brushes, and I'm going to start with this kind of orangey brown shade. It's orange if you think of orange, it's brown if you think of brown, and you know, it's perfect. So we're going to deepen up with the dark brown. I'm going to put this down on my lower lash line. I'm going to put this on my outer corner, and I'm also going to pull in a single shadow from this collection. You could definitely use a shade from the palette if you want to, whatever you want to do. I was just having fun with some of my single shadows, showing them a little love, putting this all over the lid, blending it up because I don't want to keep that shimmer in one place. I want to let it have its moment, highlight the inner corner, throw on a lash, and I have this look. This is the newest palette from Oden's Eye, the Soul Mind 2 palette, so Sun and Moon, and we are going to stick to the neutrally shades. I really like that this palette included some neutral options because I just think it makes the whole palette like way more user-friendly and way more versatile. Like, it gives us tons of options. I'm really going in deep with that darker, warm red brown type of shade. I want it to be kind of on the more dramatic side, and I'm putting this yellowy gold warm shade all in the center of my lid, and then I'm going to add in a second shimmer on the inner part of my lid. If you have hooded eyes or something like that, take your shimmer up high. It's so beautiful and ethereal, but even on my deep set eyes, I really like the way this came out. Lunar Beauty always has the cutest packaging, and I love this Moon Shroom palette. It's very, very good for warm tone looks. So we're going to start off here. Again, I'm using my rougher brushes. I have my eyes primed. Everything is going to be in the description box, and I'm going to take this yellowy undertone, brown, warm, green, something like, I don't know. It's a beautiful neutral shade. And then we're going to make like a wing with our shadow, kind of. We're going to not keep it like super thin or anything like that, but we're definitely going to take the shadow and create somewhat of a wing, wrapping it around to the lower lash line as well. I love doing this with shadow. I think it can be kind of dramatic but fun and not overpowering. You know, I don't know if that makes sense. It makes sense in my head. So I'm putting the shimmer in the center of the lid. I always pick up the shadow on my brush and then spray my brush after I have the shadow on. Never put a wet brush into your shadows. Like, that's just a recipe for disaster. But I'm going to emphasize my lower lash line a little bit. We're going to highlight the inner corner, and I'm going to throw on a little bit of eyeliner just to kind of like bring things together. I'm using a really warm, like burgundy type of shade. I will put this in the description box too. And threw on a lash, and this is my look. I absolutely love this look. We're going to play with some hand pressed shadows. These are Clionadh Paleo eyeshadows in their palette, and I want to create something starting off with this beautiful yellowy shade. You can see this is a very earthy yellow, and it blends so easily. These are What's Up Beauty brushes, and I'm going to go into this really super warm brown shade and deepen up my outer corner. I'm going to kind of blend that, kind of like round it off rather than wing it out, but I am going to take it just under the lower lash line, and then I'm going to go in with this gorgeous shade. Do you see like the shine on that shade? Like, Clionadh is not playing around when it comes to shimmers. I'm going to grab this different, deeper kind of matte shade right here that has a little bit of like a purple but still very warm undertone. Then I'm going to grab this multi-chrome and I'm going to put that on the lower lash line. I did spray my brush after I picked up the shadow, and I'm just kind of pressing and dragging that shade to blend it for just a little something special on the lower lash line. I'm going to throw on this shimmer shade on my inner corner, and this will be our finished look. I did put on a half lash, and I just felt gorgeous in it. This is our KO from Clionadh, so we're going to create a look with this one, and these Clionadh looks I did include in a haul recently, so if you want to see swatches and their other palette, definitely check that video out. I will link it in the cards for you, but I'm starting off with a bang, okay? We're starting off with the orange. This is warm. It's going to transition to a more neutral look. You'll see when it comes together, it's not going to be like in your face orange, but it definitely is like more colorful, neutral-esque, but for me, I feel like this is colorful neutral, so I wanted to include it in my warm neutral looks, putting a little shimmer on the inner corner, and like, see how easy that was and how cute it looks with no liner and just mascara. I love it. What's Up Beauty Geodes palette. What's Up Beauty is a brand that definitely needs more hype, but we will talk about that another day. Right now, we're just going to talk about the eyeshadows, and look at this beautiful brown. I'm also using their brushes, and I'm deepening up my socket, my lower lash line, everything with this shadow. It's such a dream to work with, like so easy. I did not have to build up that shade at all. I'm throwing on a little bit of yellow to kind of blend things out, make things a little more seamless, give us some dimension to our look, taking it under the lower lash line. And look at this shimmer, y'all. Like, don't even joke. It's gorgeous. It's stunning. It's like this white, yellowy, shifty, sparkly, special, smooth. I don't like, you see it. It speaks for itself. It doesn't need me to describe it. It describes itself. It's stunning. Same brand. This is What's Up Beauty Desert Monsoon palette. Different color story. We're going to go in with this lighter shade. We're going to start with the lighter shade. We did the deeper shade first last time, so now I'm starting with the lighter shade. I'm just going to put that on the lid, up, same with the deep shade in the outer corner, so I'm kind of leaving this middle space blank, and then I'm going in with this gorgeous like duochrome. It's this gold green, something special, I don't know, deepening up my lower lash line, and then I'm going to take this really like smooth shimmer shade and put it on the inner corner, a little bit of that vanilla matte just to kind of buff and blend, make sure I don't have any harsh lines, throw on a lash, and this is my dramatic look. Barely Basic from Glaminatrix Cosmetics. I recently did an indie makeup roundup video where I included this look and I did some swatches, so definitely check that out if you want to hear like my thoughts on the palette after playing with it for a while, all of that. But I'm taking my Sigma brushes and I'm going to fluff this shade all in my socket, and I'm going to pull in this like almost blackened brown, and then we're going to go in with this stunning metallic shade. I'm putting that all over the lid. This is Fantasy Cosmetic brushes. I'm doing a matte inner corner highlight, and this is like a quick and easy out the door but I'm put together type of look. Like, I still got to have a little me time with my mascara on, you know. And then we're going to go into the Surratt Beyond Beige Quad. This is actually more like neutral leaning than it is warm, so I still felt like it kind of fit into this category, especially because of this shimmer shade. This is a very easy palette to work with. Not difficult at all. I mean, it's 4 shades to choose from, so it's just super easy to throw together a look. I'm using a little bit of waterline eyeliner, and then I'm just going to buff and blend to make sure everything's kind of seamless. Put on a little bit of the Surat mascara, which I love, by the way, and then this is my finished look. I hope you enjoyed all the looks. Thank you so much for being here. Definitely check out some of my other videos if you love makeup, and let me know if you're going to try any of these looks and if you want to see another video like this.